Hello and welcome to another video of Senator Viran Ads. This is going to be kind of a special video because in this video I'm not going to teach you anything. I'm going to exactly show you how I worked on a recent project and show you step by step what I received from the client and how I created a campaign plan for a client. What are the different steps I took and what are the different tools I used to basically come up with this plan. If you're new here, my name is Oves and I am a digital marketing consultant based in Dubai, and I have been a digital marketer for the last 11 years. This video is sponsored by HubSpot. So this is what I basically received from the client. So it was a huge document, but this is the crux. The only thing I'm going to change or hide in this video is the client's name. So I have taken a similar kind of company, which is Dubizzle, as an example. Basically, they are #1 online classified platform in Middle East. They want to launch in Iraq market. They already have creative produced. They won't need any feedback on the creative from my side, except the specifications and the duration and things like that. They want to plan a launch campaign focused on creating top of mind awareness and brand recall. And the platforms they want to use is Meta and YouTube, and they want to reach an optimum audience, ideally more than 60%, with the age group of 25 to 54 with an ideal frequency. So that's what we'll be working on. A lot of people think that for branding campaigns, there's not much that goes into it, but I'll show you there's actually a lot of things to learn here. This is the strategy I provided to them. Of course, I changed the client logo and a little bit of theme here and there. So this is what I provided. Table of contents. I provide them what are the campaign details, what are the goals and objectives I understand, and then a bit about market, which is about Iraq, and then audience analysis, channel mix, financial plan, and reporting and optimization. Okay, then we have campaign details. This is mostly what came from them, but it's just when you present your campaign plan, you just confirm again. Budget to be confirmed, because they said when we try to reach out to 60% or more audience, give us an optimum budget plan. What is the ideal budget we should look at? They were kind of open. Then we move to campaign goal and objective. Primary is reach 70% of the addressable target audience on Meta and YouTube, create top of mind awareness about Dubizzle launch among target audience, link Dubizzle with the campaign message. They said more than 60, so I assumed, okay, let's target 70 and see if they're okay with the budget. And then we have the next one, which is market overview. Now this is where basically the research starts. The inputs from my side come in. Now what I basically showed here is based on a lot of research. This basically explains it all. That 80% of the people in Iraq speak Arabic, 18% speak Kurdish, and 1% speak English, but there is an overlap. Most of the people who speak Kurdish, again, speak Arabic as well. So Arabic is the primary language. And I have mentioned the same thing here, which is backed by the research here. And every slide which talks about market overview basically has, I have linked the research where it came from. Now, that's a very important thing. Where did the research come from? Now, before, it would take me at least 1 week working with an intern or junior in the research or strategy team to come up with this research. But now everything has become easy. I worked on ChatGPT for 15 minutes in the research mode. It blew my mind. Prompt was simple. I'm trying to run an awareness campaign for a brand called, let's say, Dubizzle. Provide me a research about how I should segment the campaigns based on Arabic and Kurdish languages based on the geographic targeting. Also, would like to know if English is required for the creatives and which areas should we run those. And it gave me all this information, which I added in the research, like 75% to 80% of Iraq inhabitants do this. Then it gave me Arabic language targeting based on which city, what is the population of that city, and what is the language they speak. I asked the follow-up question, provide me details about internet penetration, region-wise population, language-wise population, regions-wise. It gave me a lot of information, like a lot. And I put all of this information and I put it here in a document, which I call Market Research Iraq for Dubizzle or whatever. And this is what I linked with basically the strategy for the client to basically go through. For example, this information I wanted to show you. So it's showing internet penetration. Overall internet penetration in Iraq is 78%, urban areas 90 to 96%, semi-urban this. Then for each platform, it was showing me social media platform penetration Iraq. TikTok, 31.95 million users. What is the population percentage? Like 69% of population use TikTok. Internet users, out of all internet users in Iraq, 88% use TikTok. Same thing for all the platforms. This is very important information. Basically took the important points which are important for this campaign, and I presented it to the client. and I linked the research paper here. So this is what I would suggest. If you're a freelancer, agency, use this feature. This is very, very powerful. Before we move ahead with our campaign plan creation, I want to take a minute and highly recommend a very useful tool for campaign planning called Campaign Assistant. You can get access to this tool completely for free from the link in the description below. It's an AI-driven tool which really acts as a campaign assistant for you and makes the whole process fast and easy. How it works is you just provide some brief details about the upcoming campaign you have, select the tone, and the campaign assistant comes up with highly engaging content and design suggestions for your landing page, content with preview of your Meta ads, Google ads, LinkedIn ads, as well as email campaigns. My favorite part about this tool is that you don't have to write lengthy prompts and worry about the prompt syntax and assigning roles like other AI tools like ChatGPT. Campaign Assistant is specifically tailored to do this one thing, which is help you in campaign planning. You can manage all your campaign assets and even multiple campaigns from one place, and even publish directly from the tools or copy assets in just one click. And Campaign Assistant is created by HubSpot, who is also sponsoring this video. So back to our campaign plan. Okay, so now here, see, every slide needs to have a message, an outcome. I see sometimes people present and there's no outcome or actionable things. It's nice to know information, but there's no actionable information there. Then we have market overview again. Kurdish and mixed regions will be targeted with bilingual campaigns. So this is what I'm suggesting, that central, southern Iraq, Baghdad, Basra, Najaf, etc. Arabic 85%. So 85% of our budget will go to Arabic creatives, and they will be targeted to these regions. Then Kurdistan regions, Erbil, Sulaimania, Duhok, Halabja, will focus 15% on Kurdish content and target these regions. There are certain mixed regions here which have both Arabic and Kurdish, so we will target both the campaigns, both the content to these regions. So now we are sorted. English we are dropping because it's just 1% and most of them speak either Arabic or Kurdish. The main message here is more than 65% of our target audience are active on any of the social media platforms, because our target audience is really from 26 to 54. This is what basically the company told me, that this is our ideal audience because they are the people who actually buy our product. Then the next one I was showing is TikTok has the highest reach, but it is youth heavy because they are targeting 24 and above. So I'm saying TikTok has the highest reach, but it's youth heavy. Then YouTube, Facebook, and Instagram have lower reach, but the audiences are spread across the age group. TikTok shows high penetration due to age restrictions and unlocked user VPN. The basic idea about the persona came from ChatGPT. I asked, okay, this is the company, this is what they want to do, give me the persona. Now what I'm saying is basically in a market like UAE, for example, there are different type of segmentations. For example, based on the nationality, there are people from multiple nationalities and they have different preferences, and the persona becomes different. The messaging has to be different. For example, the messaging that will convert an Emirati is different from someone from India or someone from Philippines or someone from European countries, because they have different preferences when it comes to messaging, what they prefer in a product. Do they prefer price? Do they prefer safety or whatever? But in case of Iraq, there's not much difference in messaging basically, because we are just saying that this is the platform where you can buy, sell your house or car. So this is basically the persona creation. Even the pictures came from ChatGPT. Then our target audience, this is what we'll be targeting. Our primary target audience is 24 to 54, which is very generic. So because we are reaching out to mass audience, we are not targeting any in-market or affinity or anything like that, both men and women. And secondary is basically, I'm just telling them, in case we have budget limitations, so you say, no, this is too much budget, what you forecasted, then what we can do is we can use secondary audiences like affinity and devices and restrict our audience so that we can basically reach out to our audience 60% or above with a good frequency. So then we can say affinity, okay, people who buy and sell online or who are actively on shopping online or things like that. Or maybe we first target high income audiences and target certain devices like the latest iPhones or whatever. Then I mentioned this channel mix and deployment, like, okay, these are the channels we'll be basically using. It's 48% and 49% Meta and YouTube, basically just 1 and 2% going here. So what I suggest is, this is very important because I'm like, okay, YouTube we are using, it's high impact. a bit expensive reach. Facebook, Insta placements, multiple formats we can use on Meta because we have Facebook, Instagram within Meta. That's why we're allocating 49% here. And then performance lever here, we'll be looking at efficient reach. Frequency cap will be using 7 per week per user. And Meta, same thing, will be focusing on reach optimized for VTR. And frequency cap is 7 per day per week. And then Google will be just allocating 1% budget because you need to be present on your brand keywords. So we'll be just using 1% of the budget just on brand keywords, so that if somebody sees our ad, they go to Google search for us, we should be present there. And then 2% will be doing basically retargeting. We'll be just allocating. We create a whitelist of all the news and big websites in Iraq, and anybody who saw our ad and or maybe clicked on the ad, went to our website, we just show them banners, retargeting banners on popular websites. It kind of reinforces the message to them. It increases top of mind awareness and brand recall. But this is just 2%, only to people who watched our complete ad or who watched our ad, went to our website. Okay, now the next thing is the budgets and the financial plan. But this is kind of some work you will have to do to achieve this. Now I want to show you how I came up with these numbers. It's very, very important. You can do the same thing in DV360 as well for YouTube. It's called Reach Planner there. In Google Ads, you go to Tools, then you have here Planning. You expand this, you go to Reach Planner. And let's say we say New Plan. Okay, location and currency. I'll be targeting Iraq. Let's say dirhams. And it's asking you which channels. We'll be focusing on YouTube. Now it'll ask you certain information. Let's say dates and July, August, because it's for 3 months. I click on apply. Demographics will be targeting specific age and gender. We'll be targeting from 25 to 54, both male and female. You can say any budget in the beginning. Then we can change it. Audiences, I'm not targeting any audiences. Devices, I'm not targeting any devices. Later I can do that. But for now, initial plan, which will be mass audience. Frequency cap will be using 7 per week. Okay, YouTube campaign, standard plan. What do you want to focus on? Because we are focusing on reach. That's our primary objective, to reach like more than 60% of the addressable audience. So I'll click efficient reach, and then I'll be like view forecast. Now this is what I want you to see. It's very, very, very important. Now if you see here, you will be able to predict views, conversion, whatever. If you see here reach, initially when you increase your budget, your reach increases a lot, which is kind of exponential. And after a while, no matter how much budget you increase, your basically incremental reach is very less. So my point is, always find a sweet spot. Always find a sweet spot, which is somewhere here. After this starts becoming straightening out, this is your sweet spot. Now, some people will be like, okay, if you go here, why would someone be crazy and some company be crazy and they invest, let's say 120K for 60% reach and not only 58,000, they'll be able to reach 50. Now the reach will not increase, but if you see, the views are linear. Now if you spend more money, the views you get is more. But in our case, our focus is mainly reach, so we have to find this sweet spot, right? Here as well, you can say on target reach. It will show you now, not percentage, it will show you exact how many people you will be able to reach. So for example, at 57K, we'll be able to reach 8.3 million people. And this depends a lot on what dates you have selected. For example, if it's close to, let's say, Ramadan or New Year's, the reach you will get for this budget is lesser. So the prices change. And now when you select a particular budget, let's say I'll be like 119K, it will show you your reach will be 9.9 million, TRP 281. The views you will get is 4.3 million, conversion 64. Conversions is not accurate in this case. And here you will be able to see that your average frequency will be 4.69. Total CPM will be this, and all these details basically you can say, okay, consideration or action. You can choose what metrics you want to see. Census population is within this age group. How many people are within this age group, which is 16 million. YouTube population is within your audience targeting, which is 25 to 54. How many people use YouTube? Unique reach is 20.2 12.9 million is the maximum number of people you'll be able to reach within this audience on YouTube. Now what you can do is you can play around a lot, and you can download this plan. Basically you can play around and see, okay, if I change the dates, how it's going to impact with the same budget. So if I squeeze this campaign to 2 months, what is the resultant reach? If I make it 4 months, you can play around a lot and then say, okay, if I include more audience, less audience, if I target any devices, if I change my frequency cap, how is it going to impact my overall reach? So basically you have to find a sweet spot. Those dates where the actual campaign was planned, with 100,000 AED we were able to reach 7.3 million, which is like 57% of the reach, and the cost per reach 1000 was 13.6. Now there is something very interesting coming up. Okay, I did the same thing in Meta. Okay, in Meta, the easiest way honestly is you go to your ads manager, you go to campaigns, you click on, let's say, new campaign. You'll be like, you'll have to select reservation, not auction, because you have to reserve this. In Meta, you have to reserve this inventory. After you see the plan, of course, you can reserve it, and it'll be fixed cost. And now after you select reservation, it'll just give you two options: awareness, engagement. In our case, it is the engagement. Click on continue. Now it's asking campaign name, let's say we call, and by the way, when you reserve it, the campaign is automatically created by then, but you can just use it for planning, and then once the client approves, book the same numbers. It might slightly change if you move fast. No categories, buying type, reservation, awareness. Now click on next. Now here, this is kind of the campaign planner of Meta. You can also download it like Google. So here, performance goal, I select maximum reach of ads. This is what we are trying to do. Then it's asking you which Instagram page, and frequency control. How do you want to control it? So for example, I want to set a cap, for example, 7 times every 7 days. And then it's saying what is the schedule date. Let's say we say from June 1 to July, August 30, 29. The maximum you can do is 90 days. Run all times. Location is edit audience. I want to target Iraq. And then age group I want to target is from 25 to 54. So all genders, languages, everything done. Now it's saying what are the placements, what kind of creative you'll be using. So we'll be using image carousel and video, and that's it. And then placements, it's saying what do you want to target? I want to target everything except the audience network here. Now if you see all the changes we make, it changes the estimation here, but you can play around and see how it changes. But for now, I'm just showing you how we did this plan based on the brief. Now, okay, see. So for example, I say I want to reach let's say I want to reach 5 million users. Now it will give you a budget that you will need 34,000 dirhams. So if I say I want to target 9 million, right? Now it's saying you need 63,000 dirhams, right? Estimated audience size, like it was 12.9 million on YouTube. On Facebook, with this age group, you can reach 17 to 20 million people. The CPM will be 0.58, average frequency will be 12.22, and you see the same kind of graph will appear here like YouTube. It's the same logic, right? After a certain point, for example, this one, the incremental reach is less. So this is the sweet spot. See, at 102,000 dirhams, you will be able to reach, 12 million of your audience. So this is exactly what I would suggest to my client, that this is the sweet spot. This is what we will be doing. And then you can play around on your own. Say if you want budget, you can give a budget to Meta. Say, okay, what will happen if I have 100,000 dirhams? And it will give you a new estimate that based on your budget, you'll be able to reach 12.12 million dirhams. So if the client gives you budget, you put the budget. If they want to reach a certain audience, this is what you'll do. So basically, when I got these two optimum points, the sweet spots from YouTube and Meta, I kind of worked on this plan, which is, let me hide this. This is a bit confusing. So I put it here that, okay, on Meta, in that duration, the actual duration of the campaign, it was showing 13 million as addressable audience. YouTube, it was showing 12.9. And frequency is this, demographic is this and this. On Meta, we were targeting a bit broader audiences. and budget is this and this. The reach it was showing me is for Meta 5.3 million, and for YouTube it was showing me 7.3 million. On Meta this was like 41% of the reach, and on YouTube this was 57% of the reach, right? But the client wanted to reach more than 60%. Now if you reach 41% on Meta, if you reach 57% on YouTube, because they are two separate platforms, you cannot sum them up. You cannot say, okay, here I'm reaching 5.3 million, here I'm reaching 7, so the total reach will be 7.5, which will be like more than 13 million. No, that's not possible, because there will be an overlap. There is a particular way you calculate it, the resultant reach from multiple channels. Now if you see the resultant reach is 75%. How this is calculated is called Sainsbury Method. You can just Google it on and read about it. So basically this is the formula. If you're using two channels, this is the formula. 1 minus reach of channel 1, which in our case is 41%, and 1 minus reach of second platform, which is 57. Now if you use this formula here, I have used the same formula here. So the resultant reach here would be 75%. 41 and 57, two different channels. If you run them together, the resultant reach as per Sainsbury method, this is the most respected method to calculate reach from multiple channels, is 75%. So the resultant reach will not be 13 million. It will be basically based on this formula, where you take 75% of the maximum addressable audience. In our case, it's 13 million for Meta. If YouTube had 14 million, then we'll check what is 75% of 14 million, which comes to 9.7 million audience, which is 75% of the addressable audience within our age group. So that is basically the plan I created for the client. But do read about the Sainsbury method if you haven't seen it before. And if you see here, then this is the financial plan I suggested. I said, okay, we are going to reach 75% of the target audience. And then this is how we will report. Basically, our North Star metric is reach, secondary metrics VTR, engagement rate, and I'll create a dashboard for you guys where you will be able to see all of this. But if you see also in the plan, I provided the spec sheet that, okay, for each of the channels, what kind of creative you have to provide. The creative team is working on the creative, but I said, okay, what are the sizes? This is one of the real projects I recently did. I hope you enjoyed that. I hope you learned something new from this. That's all for this video. Thank you so much, and I will see you in the next one.